I arrived at the Universal Church with my life completely destroyed. I lived in a shelter until I was 8 years old. Then I left and I lived on the streets. I lived as a beggar because I did not have any family. I used to sleep at the market, but many times people would chase me away because I was not allowed to stay there. I used to go to the big dumping places and search through all the rubbish to find food to eat. When we found meat, we would heat it up, and when it was hot, we would shake it so that all the worms would come out, and then we would eat it. That was the kind of life I had on the streets. Many times I did not have clothes to wear, so we would go to the river and wash the clothes we were wearing and put them back on while they were still wet. Time went by and I was still living on the streets. I went to Marici, which is where I lived my last days, on the streets. There I lived under a highway bridge. There were people who helped me by giving me food.
It was really sad. He would go to the rubbish bin and take food from the rubbish bin. He would take cigarette butts from the rubbish and smoke them. It is something that is hard to talk about, very sad. I would put together some bread and food and I would take it to Mr. Darci.
That was the life of a beggar on the streets. Then, when one day I found myself in front of the Universal Church in Cristo, there was an assistant at the door and he called me. I only heard his voice, but I did not see anything. When I woke up, he said to me, "You go and have a bath, because you smell bad and it's difficult for me to talk to you while you are like this." So I went back to Darci, and when I got there, I saw 2 water channels running by. One had dirty water, but the other was a bit cleaner, so I washed myself in it. There was a lady who lived near there, who knew me, and she gave me soap and a clean set of clothes to change into. Once washed and changed, I went back to the assistant who had said that he had a gift to give me. I was barefoot when I started, but on my way, I saw 2 slippers which had been thrown into a bin. I was happy to get them, even though they were both the same foot. When I arrived at the church, the assistant was waiting for me with an envelope in his hand, and I thought, I will get a gift and my life will change. So I went to him and he gave me the envelope. "Here is your present," he said. I opened it and thought, now this guy's joking with me. Then he explained, "Go, build your sacrifice and come back here on this day." A day, he told me. So I went away. I obeyed his word and I collected and sold tins, cardboard and paper. And in this way, I built my sacrifice. When I took the sacrifice to the church, the money did not fit into the envelope. I had to use a plastic bag and put it inside. I took everything to the church. Maybe it was around the year 2000, because at that time I did not know much about numbers or money. Not like today, when I have some knowledge about the value of money. I used to store the money between the wood planks below a house. Many times I had the desire to take that money and use it, because I was often hungry as a beggar. But thanks to God, He always helped me not to touch my sacrifice. So I kept on building my sacrifice, as I said, through selling cardboard and tins. I went to the church a week earlier than the assistant told me, because there was a guy who used to walk with me, and one day he asked me, "What are you doing there?" And I said, "It's none of your business." So I went to put the money in the hiding place. He saw that I had the money with me, and then a voice told me, "Take this to the church, otherwise they will rob you." So I took it and I placed it on the altar when I got there. I gave everything that was in the bag. I remained on the streets for a month and a half, but the people who were helping me kept on doing so, and things were getting better. I got a job on a construction site. I kept working hard, and time went by. It took me about 3 months to get a little stability in my life. Then, I found a house to rent. The interesting part is when I went to rent the house, the owner knew me, and he said, "You?" I said, "Yes, me. But do you have money to pay me?" "Well, at the moment I don't, but I will work and I will have it." He said to me, "So, you will stay only 1 month. If you don't pay me by then, you will be back on the streets." Okay, God's will be done. Then he asked me, "Where are you going to sleep?" "I don't have anything. I'll sleep on the floor." "No," he said, "let me give you a mattress for you to use until you get back on your feet." From then on, I put my life together, working and going to the church, where the pastors and assistants guided me. 3 months after I started to have money, with the guidance I received in the church, my situation improved. And today, thanks to God, I am a businessman. I own a company with many employees, about 20 who work directly with me, and another 18 people who work for me as well. Thanks to God, I am married and I have a blessed family now. The greatest blessing that God gave me is the woman to whom I'm married today. She is an educated person, and since I do not know how to read or write, I can only write my name. She guides me in many things that I do not know how to do. Even though I do not know how to read or write, I have people working for me who are university graduates who have diplomas. This is through the grace of God. Today I have a house, I drive the latest car, I have a very blessed life. And thanks to God, we are already in the spirit of the holy campaign. The greatest sacrifice I have made was the last campaign, when I gave 200,000 rand. Many times I think to myself, a beggar being the owner of a company, having people who are university graduates working for me, it really is a miracle. The way for us to prosper in life is to sacrifice. This is the foundation for victory. Who would ever say that a beggar would be married with a beautiful wife as I am? And I am someone who does not know how to read or write. I can hardly even write my own name.